A key to advancing science lies in the power of shared data. The magic happens when fair data is shared and reused. It stops duplication of work, opens new avenues for cooperation, and elevates visibility and insights for researchers. While a lot of data can be shared, only fair data really retains the value over a longer time. Also, it is worth noting that sharing data is often a requirement from funding agencies and publishers. The fair data should be made available as open as possible, provided there are no conflicts with third-party rights, but as closed as necessary if that is the case. So, how do you publish your data? There are three common methods: supplementary information or SI to scientific publications, data journals, and the pivotal repositories. SI can contain all data relevant to the paper, is often peer-reviewed and published together with the paper. But remember, SI only houses data related to a paper, so it isn't an option to publish standalone data. Also, data shared by researchers in this way is not always fair, as data, for example, in a graph is often not directly reusable. Data journals publish datasets or data papers, emphasizing the collection and processing of data rather than interpretation. They are peer-reviewed, citable, findable, yet might not always be open access depending on the publisher. And as opposed to, for instance, research papers, data does not always have to be on a completely new subject, but can also be data generated with more conventional methods. Then there are repositories, the structured databases that ensure visibility, preservation, and documentation of datasets. In our video series, we also have a video that covers repositories in detail, highlighting their additional functionalities like versioning or persistent identifiers for data, all also crucial for making data findable. When choosing a repository, there are several factors to consider. Often data is only made available some time after the end of a project. The time before the publication of the data is called embargo. If necessary for the project, embargo periods need to be applicable. Also, the terms of use should be clear for authors and users, including licenses for the research data, which will be covered in another video. Furthermore, research projects may contain further requirements, like storage of research data exclusive within Germany, for instance. Choosing a repository requires due diligence. Intellectual property, commercial interest, authorship, or project-specific requirements could impact your choice. User and access management are also very important. Notable is also that uploading something into a repository doesn't necessarily mean everybody can access it, as it is also possible to limit access to selected groups or individual people, or just yourself. Discipline-specific repositories or local repositories from institutions could be viable options. You can get started by exploring re3data.org, which lists more than 2,000 repositories across science disciplines. If you want to upload your data from Catalysis-related research, you can simply upload it to the repository provided by NFDI4CAT Central Data Repository. It provides all functions to make your data fair, like persistent identifiers, search functionality, and an easy-to-use interface, as well as full permission and access management to keep your data secure but also enable collaboration. Shared data opens up new approaches, such as, for instance, AI-assisted data mining and the use of predictive tools, which require large amounts of data, but can solve scientific questions in a completely different way than the work in a lab environment. Remember, shared and fair data is vital for ushering Catalysis into the digital era. Find more useful information on how we can help you or your organization, or support us, ask us questions, or simply subscribe to our newsletter to stay in touch. Join us in shaping the data-driven evolution of Catalysis. NFDI4CAT.org